story is the bathing of Jesus' feet. Six days before the Passover, Jesus came to Bethany, where Lazarus lived, whom Jesus had raised from the dead. Here a dinner was given in Jesus' honor. Martha served while Lazarus was among those reclining at the table with him. Then Mary took about a pint of pure nard, an expensive perfume. She poured it on Jesus' feet and wiped his feet with her hair, and the house was filled with the fragrance of the perfume. The second story is when Judas betrays Jesus. Matthew 26:14-16. One of the 12, the one called Judas Iscariot, went to the chief priests and asked, "What are you willing to give me if I deliver him over to you?" So they counted out for him 30 pieces of silver. From then on, Judas watched for an opportunity to hand him over.
This is where Jesus is praying in the Garden of Gethsemane before his arrest. Matthew 26:36-46. Then Jesus went with his disciples to a place called Gethsemane, and he said to them, "Sit here while I go over there and pray." He took Peter and the two sons of Zebedee along with him, and he began to be sorrowful and troubled. Then he said to them, "My soul is overwhelmed with sorrow to the point of death. Stay here and keep watch with me." Going a little further, he fell with his face to the ground and prayed, "My Father, if it is possible, may this cup be taken from me, yet not as I will, but as you will." Then he returned to his disciples and found them sleeping. "Couldn't you men keep watch with me for 1 hour?" he asked Peter. "Watch and pray so that you will not fall into temptation. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak." He went away a second time and prayed, "My Father, if it is not possible for this cup to be taken away unless I drink it, may your will be done." When he came back, he again found them sleeping, because their eyes were heavy. So he left them and went away once more and prayed for the third time, saying the same thing. Then he returned to his disciples and said to them, "Are you still sleeping and resting? Look, the hour has come, and the Son of Man is delivered into the hands of sinners. Rise, let us go. Here comes my betrayer."
Now this is the story where Pilate finds no charge against Jesus. Then Pilate took Jesus and had him flogged. The soldiers twisted together a crown of thorns and put it on his head. They clothed him in a purple robe and went up to him again and again, saying, "Hail, King of the Jews!" And they slapped him in the face. Once more Pilate came out and said to the Jews gathered there, "Look, I am bringing him out to you to let you know that I find no basis for a charge against him." When Jesus came out wearing the crown of thorns and the purple robe, Pilate said to them, "Here is the man." As soon as the chief priests and their officials saw him, they shouted, "Crucify! Crucify!" But Pilate answered,
"You take him and crucify him. As for me, I shall no basis for charge against him."
The Jewish leaders insisted, "We have a law, and according to that law he must die, because he's claimed to be the Son of God."
The soldiers led Jesus into the palace and made him put on an old royal robe, and they twisted together a crown of thorns and put it on his head. Then they made fun of him and said, "Hail, King of the Jews!" They didn't understand that he was a king, and that's why they made fun of him. Next, the soldiers led Jesus toward a hill called Golgotha. They made him carry the cross on his back. But because Jesus couldn't carry it the whole way, he fell down. The soldiers had whipped his back, and it hurt so much that Jesus couldn't handle the weight of the cross on his shoulders. A man named Simon happened to be near Jesus when he fell, and the soldiers grabbed him and made him carry the cross the rest of the way. When they reached the top of the hill, they nailed Jesus to the cross. There were 3 crosses. Jesus was in the middle, a criminal on his right, and on his left. The Pilate made a sign to be put on the cross. It read what he was being punished for: "Jesus of Nazareth, King of the Jews." Some people walked by and shouted, "You saved others. Why can't you save yourself?" Jesus could have saved himself, but he chose not to. He wanted to save us instead. Later, Jesus could not handle the pain any longer, and he said, "It is finished."
It is finished.
And that is when Jesus bowed his head and he went to heaven. Suddenly, a huge curtain that hung at the temple was torn in half from the top to the bottom, and a man that wanted Jesus to die saw all of this, and he said, "Surely this man was the Son of God." He realized he had been wrong about Jesus. It seems like a really sad story, but it's one of the greatest stories of all. Jesus died knowing that you would do things that were wrong, and that's what a sin is. Things that you're not supposed to do, like not obeying your parents, and saying lies and being mean to your brothers and sisters, or not telling the truth. He knew what you would do even when he died so many years ago. Jesus died for everybody's sins. So now when we ask God to forgive us, we are truly sorry for what we've done, and he can act like it's never happened before. That's right, he forgets what we did. So as I pass out these charms, you can remember the next time you do something you're not supposed to do, remember to say sorry to Jesus. And remember that Christ died and he rose again for you.